13.1a, 13.1a. Greetings, this is Mr. Case. We're going to be talking about Europe in the Middle Ages. The Middle Ages is defined as that period of time with the decline of the Roman Empire, ushering in, the Middle Ages. It lasted from roughly 500 AD to 1500 AD. It's a time of upheaval for folks that used to be living in the Roman Empire, and it wasn't safe to live there anymore, and so they kind of moved into Western and Eastern Europe. We see Germanic invasions are going to trigger this disorder. We've got three ideas here. Number one, there was a disruption of trade. Merchants faced invasions on the land and on the sea, and money was scarce, so trade almost disappeared. We see a downfall of cities. Cities were abandoned as centers of administration and centers of trade. It wasn't safe to live in cities anymore. And thusly we see a population shift where nobles retreat to rural areas. Rural means country. And food is grown in rural areas. So most of the population of Europe is going to live in the countryside, not the city. That's going to be an interesting thing here. We see a decline of learning. Learning declined in Western Europe as a result of these invasions that we talked about. And also the idea that Germanic invaders could not read or write, so classic culture like Greek and Roman culture was really not preserved like it should have been. We see a loss of a common language that used to unite the Roman Empire. It's going to fall apart. You're not going to see Latin spoken anymore. You're going to see Latin kind of develop into something else. Latin would be spoken with a twist. It would develop into things like Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, Romanian, and French, just to give you some examples here. We see these Germanic kingdoms emerge. Remember these ankle-biter tribes, the Ostrogoths, the Visigoths, the Lombards, the Celts, the Angles, Saxons, Jutes. Well, they're going to absorb these populations from the Roman Empire. We see the government change. You're not going to see a huge bureaucratic government like Rome used to be. You're going to see small provinces with just think about them as little kingdoms. The church is going to be an institution that is going to survive the fall of the Roman Empire, and during this time of chaos politically, it provided order and security. Your life might be falling apart, but you turn to God for comfort. We see a development of a kingdom called the Franks, the kingdom of the Franks. I think of this as ancient France, and think of it as all these little kingdoms in this area that would become a unified France one day. The Franks under a dude by the name of Clovis. Now, Clovis was a Frankish leader, one of many, who created a united kingdom and spread Christianity. Clovis is that central figure. In 496 AD, he's going to go to battle with another Germanic tribe. And the battle was going bad against him. And so he remembered the God of his wife. And he prayed to the God of his wife and said, "If you are really God, help me. And if I win the battle, or you help me win the battle, I'll become a Christian." Well, legend has it that the battle turns his way, and he keeps his word. And he becomes baptized, and he becomes a devout Christian. So by about 511 AD, Clovis had united the Franks into one kingdom. And we're going to see a unity of the kingdom and the Christian church. It's going to be very important. And so with Clovis adopting Christianity, his people are going to adopt Christianity. That's going to be a spread in Western Europe of Christianity. And an important part is going to be these centers of religious learning, monasteries and convents. Monasteries would be for the monks, convents would be for the nuns. So you can put under monasteries centers of learning and religious activities. I jokingly say that monasteries are a place where the monks sleep. They're monks' bunks, but it's more than that. It's a place where learning is advanced, and so is Christianity. A center figure is a dude by the name of Gregory the First. He is a pope, and under Pope Gregory the First's rule, the church became a political as well as a spiritual power. Gregory not only wanted to have realm over the sacred or religious, but he wanted to have power over the secular or worldly affairs. Now, this is not going to sit well with some kings who are more worldly. You're going to see at times in the future the Pope and the rulers butt heads or clash. And in the early going, it looks like the popes are going to win out. Well, we're going to stop right here, and this is the end of 13.1a.